everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 42 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where I'm starting to prepare to keep my first nuclear power plant. Cool. We're going to need a lot of water here, clearly, and the plan is, can I build one of these dudes, like, on top of one of these? I don't actually know. Probably not, but I could probably stick one here-ish. Yeah, that'll do. That should work out. We're going to need all you guys having power. So quick reminder on the numbers that we're looking at here, because remember, this game is actually a bit about numbers, some way, shape, or form. There's a lot of numbers that happen. Numbers is a thing. So the numbers are such that I'm going to stick you somewhere on here. Somewhere. There you go. And you guys should all be online now. Sweet, pumping up water. I guess. And I could probably do this jetpack now. So the numbers are such that these guys will produce 120 cubic meters of water per minute. And as a reminder, we need 600, which is exactly 5, right? Exactly 5 of these guys produces what I need, which is the 600. So what I'd like to see is somewhere around here that you can connect and sit. That should be cool. And then let's see, can I sneak this in here, or is this going to be like an encroaching on others clearance situation? It might be a little bit encroachy. So then connect the power up. That's pretty good, right? I like that. And then probably going to want some of you and some of you so that you can connect to you. And this dude can connect to that. And that should be good for 600 cubic meters, right? That should be good. Now, will you connect all the way up here? Yeah, I think so. What's the build mode options that I could do? Yeah, it should be fine. So then you have no water in you because of head lift, right? So this guy, we now need to handle the head lift situation. So I'm going to need another little power pole here to help out with that. So I'm thinking we're probably going to want this dude, right? Alright, so his current head lift is well beyond the 20. Head lift is exceeding recommended level. Yeah, buddy. So this is where we're probably going to figure out whether we're having a head lift problem or not. By following the recommended placement, like where it's sticking to, right? So that would be here-ish. The turn of the pipe is too sharp. Ooh. So what I might do is connect you. Let's see if that's not ideal. Actually, yeah, that is not ideal. What I'm going to do is, I'd like to put it right there. I'd like it to be right there, but that's not going to be great, is it? I wish I could make it kind of more straight angle-ish, but no, it's probably not going to work out too well. Let's see. What I could probably do is just stick another one on here. Even though that's an extra one of those, but that's not that big a deal. Right? I don't think it's that big a deal. Cool. So then now you need to go here-ish. And then this guy is going to go up here-ish. And we're making progress. So I will probably want to bring up a power pole to here. And that should be pretty good. I mean, I guess we'll find out, right? So the way to determine if this is working is we're going to flip on the nuclear power plant. Boom. And we're going to see if we have any problem with the water. Now, hopefully, if all this head lifting is correct, we will never run out of water in here. That's the theory. That's the theory. Whether or not that's accurate is yet to be determined, because we're seeing that these things keep snapping, right? So, to me, it sounds like they should be good, right? But our head lift is sitting at 21.9, which is above the recommended level. But I placed this guy where this thing snapped to. Now this does say Mark 1 pump. There isn't a Mark 2, is there? I don't think so. Oh, there is a pipeline pump Mark 2. Oh, look at that. I had no idea. When did we get that? I mean, I don't think it matters that much. It saves you a little bit of megawattage, but I should probably replace that with a Mark II. That's kind of cool, though. Had no idea. Had no idea. I just noticed that it said Mark 1. I just now noticed that. But, I mean, water's looking good. Water's looking good. Amount of water in pipe is staying nice and stable, which is nice. So I think we're cool. It's just funny to me that it yells at you saying, like, you're exceeding the recommended value, but it's good. Right? So, I mean, maybe it's, like, recommended, but it has a little bit of a buffer zone to it kind of deal. So, hey, that's pretty cool, right? Now, why do you still say 5,000 megawatts when this here says 6,250? That's weird, right? That's weird. What's up with that? Maybe the next fuel that I insert, it'll flip. That could be. It might need the next fuel guy to go in before it'll show the right number there. We're also going to have to handle waste output in a relatively soonish kind of manner. And what I'm thinking for waste output, so you're going to go out there, is that right? So we're probably going to need to handle that relatively soon. Hey, no falling. I'm literally like inches away from a nuclear power plant, Mr. Jetpack. I am more than fine. Thank you very much. So for now, I'm going to stick down just an industrial storage container, right? Smack dab there. And let's run some conveyor belting. And we'll do this. Encroaching on others' clearance. Whose clearance am I encroaching on? Is it? It might be. Is it this dude? His clearance? That can't be. That can't be. Am I too close? It looks like it would be that guy, right? That's not ideal. That's actually going to be something of a problem here in a minute. Because I'm going to have to pick this stuff up to solve that, and that's not going to be great. Let's hope. I'm going to be prepared here. Alright, new lesson. New lesson from Direwolf. Hooray! We lived. New lesson from Direwolf. Don't connect to this dude until you're 100% ready. See, now we're not encroaching on nobody's clearance. Alright. So see the radiation level as they zip past me right now? Some semblance of radiation happening here. And the other thing is when we get close to this storage container, there's going to be a hefty... Look at the radiation level. Just from this small amount of nuclear waste. There's 100 of them. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty significant. That's a lot of nuclear waste. It's a lot of nuclear waste. So those are things to keep in mind. Man, look at that. 10 uranium fuel rods. Boom. That's a lot. That is a lot. So part of me wants to figure out, like, how much power we're actually producing here. So production is 4364. And I'm trying to figure out the difference between this number and this number. Look at that radiation level. 4364. And now we're at 9364. So that's literally exactly 5,000. Just like it says here. So why does this say 6250? Right? Interesting. Wonder if this is a bug. Right? Because down here it's telling me 6250. Up here it's saying 5,000. And if this is 5,000 with 3 overclockers, then it's not worth it to overclock. Right? Because we're doing 250% here, not 200%. So this is bad, actually, to overclock. We don't want to overclock these dudes. Well, maybe it's break even, right? Because it's fuel's going to last for 300 seconds. Fuel's going to last for 150 seconds. So it takes 3 overclockers and will double our megawatts and half our fuel time. So none of that makes sense. None of the math there makes any sense at all. Now the question is, do we need that much power? The answer is honestly no. Not even a little bit. And what's cool here is if we don't overclock this dude, then we have 600 M3 of water coming up. We can use the existing water for the other power plant, right? And then we could get both of these guys running. So that might be the way to go. I'm feeling like it might be. What do you guys think? I think the way to go here is to run this dude straight over to here, right? And then you're cool. Yeah, I like that plan. I like that plan actually quite a bit. So let's get those stackable pipeline dudes. I want to say this was around here-ish. Right? And then we can run this to here. Put the splitter on. That's definitely further out than it needed to be. Maybe here-ish. And then disconnect this dude, and this dude, right? I like that. So without overclockers, then we don't need to bring up another set of 600 cubic meters, right? Now, if we decide that we need that much power, right? Because we're going to get 2,500 from this, we're going to get 2,500 from this, so it'll be 5,000 total. If we get to the point where we're saying to ourselves, you know what? I actually need a stupid bit more power. Then what I'll do is overclock these dudes and bring up another line. But I think for now, that's not necessary, because we're going to have way more power than we need. Alright, so yeah, I think it's a bug that that's doing what it's doing. But the gist is that we've got our uranium waste being produced there. I think, like I said, what I'm going to do, because we don't need this power yet, I'm not sure what's going to happen when we unlock the next thing, but we don't super need this power yet. It's not at that position. Now, what I wouldn't mind doing is some kind of switch system. I think that might be cool. So what I might do, I think it's in the MAM. Is that where we get access to the switch? Power switch. Yeah, let's research this bad boy. We'll come back in 5 minutes once that's done and research him, but I think that would be neat. So what I'm going to actually do is disconnect you. Disconnect you. I'm going to connect the power to this dude, and he can go out there and there. Okay, and then eventually I'm going to put a switch here. Now, I don't know if I can intelligently logic that, but basically, I don't want this running unless I need it to. Right? And, like, we're borderline on need right now. But just remember, the more these run, the more of a problem we're going to have from a nuclear point of view, right? We're going to radiate a pretty hefty amount of the world just leaving these guys running. So part of me wants to be like, you know, let's not run these all the time unless we really, really need to. Because, like, look how bad it's going to get over here already. I'm going to put on my hazmat suit. See? When we're right up next to this thing, it's heavy-duty bad news, right? Even, like, over here, we're in trouble. And that's strictly from this thing. That's strictly from that. It's already starting to spread some of its bad news radiation stuff. So, things to keep in mind. Now, what I will probably also want to do while we're here... Wrong jetpack. Is connect this dude here. And this dude into there. So that everybody can get their power. Shouldn't you actually... Are you done already? Did you empty out already? Yeah, you did. Okay. And I want you turned off. No power. Now, actually, that is a question that I'm going to have to figure out. Right? If I use the power switch here, remember, power plants don't throttle anymore. So if I disconnect him from the main network, he's still going to burn his fuel. He's still going to produce uranium waste. He's just not going to, you know. Yeah, that might be a problem, actually. That might be a problem, actually. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Anyway, how about you, by the way? Splitter? No, I want actually a merger here. What are the chances that I could get you to come over to here? Yes. So that I could then merger. Encroaching on another's clearance. You bum. I need to connect the output-y thing here, right? Get rid of this. I'm going to disconnect you because you're not super needed no more. Because you can go here now. Yeah, it should be fine. Cool. And then what I just need to do is get this guy to behave. Something along those lines. See? And then there goes the uranium waste. Alright, it's a little messy. It's a little messy. It's a little bit of dire wire, but, I mean, not terrible. Cool. Alright. So my assumption is that power switch is actually not going to be as helpful as I want it to be, which is a little bit of a bummer. But in theory, all this stuff will eventually back stuff, which will save me on some power, right? Even if these are running at full speed, because remember, these are only going to use 0.2 per minute. These are each producing 0.4 per minute. So uranium fuel rods will eventually back stuff. It'll take a long time to get there, but eventually they will back stuff, yes. Okay. Now, why do you say, are you guys saying no power because you're turned off? Probably. Yeah. All right, good times. So that's 64, and this should be like 93-ish? Yeah, 93. Beautiful. Okay, good. Good times. All right, let's come back in a minute. MAM research complete. Actually, we'll just take a quick peek at that. Hooray! Power switch is completed. So power switch. Neat. So you can now be connected. And then you connect to here. Power switch is off. That's cool. Power grid A and power grid B. Right? So you are the ones doing that. So if I were to turn you on for a minute. Also, I should really connect this guy to that guy, huh? That would be smart. Goodbye! Why are they so bad at storing that nuclear waste, by the way? You know, I like how the nuclear waste is literally spilling out the top. Good job, fix it. Nuclear waste is literally spilling out the top of your waste containers. But anyway, flip this on, right? And then if we take a look at this power line, he's not getting any more power just yet, right? But he will be burning fuel. See? He's 100% burning fuel, which is bad news, right? Now I can flip this switch on, and that allows everybody to connect. And I can allow this guy off. What's this on-off button do? Huh. Neat, though. I'm just gonna look real quick at the wiki on that guy just to see if there's anything specifically cool about it. Yeah, so I don't know that the power switch is gonna be what I want it to be right now, which is fine, not a problem. So I'm gonna make sure that these guys are both turned off at the moment, no power and no power. What I want to do now is head back to our base because we've got nuclear power up and running in a pretty stable manner. The only thing that we would change is we could overclock this dude. He would double his usage and half his duration, right? And double his, so he'd double his usage, he would also double his power production. So we can overclock this with 3 overclockers, and there's no harm, but there's no benefit, right? It's just more power, but for exactly the amount of fuel that we would use otherwise. If we want to do that, we would probably want to double both of these guys. The production of fuel rods is good. Water, we would have to set up another 5 pumps and bring up another water pump up here. Not the end of the world, though, so totally doable. Let's go back to our main base and check out what the next thing to research is. Because I'm pretty sure that the next thing we're going to see is how to deal with this nuclear waste. Pretty sure that's the next kind of guy that we're going to do. So I will be back in a minute once I make my way back to the base. So there's 3 more things left to unlock in our hub here. Advanced aluminum production, which I'm not entirely sure all the nuances of it, but resource well pressurizer. So that's where you get resource well stuff. And that'll allow us resource well extractors. We can extract fluids, I guess. And we will get scanner updates for water wells, crude oil wells, and nitrogen gas wells, which I have no idea what nitrogen gas is going to be used for, because I don't know that we've seen anything about it yet. But we'll also get access to the heat sink and the cooling system, and the fused modular frame, which is cool. All that sounds good, right? Then there's leading edge production, which gets us the turbo motor, the miner Mark III, which increases our resources. It doubles what they currently can do, I think. And then the thermal propulsion rocket, which is another project part. And then finally, there's particle enrichment, which gets me nitric acids, produced by reaction of nitrogen gas with water. Well, there's your answer. There's your answer. Its high corrosiveness and oxidizing properties make it an excellent choice for refinement and fuel production purposes. Non-fissile uranium. Sweet. Mildly radioactive. Plutonium pellets, produced in a particle accelerator through conversion of non-fissile uranium, used to produce encased plutonium cells for plutonium fuel rods. Cool. So I think what we're going to be able to do is take that nuclear waste, do something with nitric acid, turn them into plutonium, then make encased plutonium cells that we can then use in our nuclear reactor again with plutonium fuel rods. That's neat. Highly radioactive. But we're going to need this thing, the particle accelerator. It uses electromagnetic fields to propel particles to very high speeds and energies. The specific design allows for a variety of processes, such as matter generation and conversion. I'm very interested to see what all we can do with that. Copper powder, pressure conversion cube, and nuclear pasta, which is project part number 9. Sweet. So in order to unlock this guy, we're going to need 400 electromagnetic control rods. Not a big deal. We've already automated those. 400 cooling systems, 200 fused modular frames, and 100 turbo motors. So to say this in a different way, we have to unlock both of these guys, right? Because we need turbo motors and we need fused modular frames in order to unlock particle enrichment. So I think advanced plutonium production is probably, or aluminum production is probably the next milestone we're going to want to do. Now, we're going to need some radio control units, among a few other things that we have plenty of. But the big one is radio control units. We definitely never automated those, because genius. Direwolf is a genius. Yeah, that's what happens. What happens? Dire gets lazy sometimes. It's alright, though. What I'll probably do is get to work, effectively. Yeah, basically just get to work. I'm gonna restock my inventory of resources, by the way, and excited to say that I'm definitely net gaining on copper tubes. Barely the copper sheets, barely net gaining on them, but not net gaining all the same. Cool. So let's do this. Let's wrap up the episode here because we're pretty close to wrapping up point. I'm gonna restock all my stuff here, which seems like a good time. I think I got a few things to collect in the long run. Let's see. I do actually need more of you. Quite a few things to restock. But what we'll do is we'll come back next episode and kind of get everything going. We'll get advanced aluminum production unlocked. We'll look into the nitrogen stuff and whatnot. And then we'll kind of just go from there, figuring out what's next to progress. Because all this stuff is unknown territory to me. I might automate radio control units. Because we're like halfway there, right? We have computers, we have those things. We just need to automate the thingies. So, I mean, we should be able to pull that off. There's not too much that would be tricky to do, I think, at this point. Computers we're pretty good on. Supercomputers we're pretty good on. We could probably use a few more plastics, to be honest with you. Let's just stock up on that a little bit. I'm just running around collecting all the things that I could have more of, right? But yeah, we'll come back next episode and get all this up and running again. For now, though, it is wrapping up point. So Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.